white people. I woke up this morning and the world didn't end. I do not understand. We were told the world was going to end. Now, we weren't given a specific date on when the world was going to end, but we were told definitely the world is going to end. There's so much doom and gloom today. Oh my gosh, from the mainstream media, from the people who repeat the mainstream media. They call themselves the alternative media. They're not really the alternative media. They're just repeating the mainstream media. They're not telling you anything new, exciting, or different. They're just complaining about the mainstream media. It's just dumb. And I complain about the mainstream media too, and maybe that makes me dumb, but oh well. I guess I'm dumb. But how do we bulletproof ourselves from all this doom and gloom and all these Chicken Littles running around screaming, the sky is falling, the sky is falling? You know, the alternative media, they're trying to sell you food that will last for 30 years. You know, you just got to buy it and they come in these buckets and you'll be safe if you have, 30 years worth of food and then lots and lots of bullets and pew-pew devices. You're going to be safe. And then we've got the mainstream media who's constantly telling you, if you take this drug, even though it might cause diarrhea, seizures, death, it'll keep you safe and you'll live forever. So basically people are chasing after the fountain of youth and they're so afraid to live because, if you live, then you accidentally might die. It's just the weirdest phenomenon. We live in a really weird time where people are so scared and fear has become the new gluttony. It used to be, like drugs and alcohol and food. That used to be the top things to be gluttonous over, but now it's fear. Strange. We live in strange times. People are afraid. People are addicted to fear. Addicted to fear porn. And all it's doing is inviting totalitarian leaders. A leader cannot be totalitarian and if there's nobody that's going to listen. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to follow the tyranny or be victims of the tyranny if they don't listen. It takes a compliant population for a tyrannical leader to be successful. And that's the problem right now. We have too many people that want to comply because they're afraid. They're not afraid. They're addicted to gluttony, addicted to fear. And they just want to comply and being safe. It's this really weird false sense of security. I like to lay in my bed. I have like this heating thing. It's this mattress cover that heats up and it keeps me toasty warm and helps me to relax and go to sleep at night. But I'm not going to stay in this thing for 24/7. I'm just not going to stay here because it's comfortable and it's safe. That's stupid. I have a life to live. I have things to do. I have responsibilities. I have promises to keep. And I have things to make, like soap. And I just don't understand it. But I don't know. Are we really meant to even understand any of this? Or maybe it's just better if we point it out to people who are addicted. We're dealing with not just drug addicts. We're not dealing with just alcoholics. But we're dealing with fear porn addicts. And so we have to have some sort of a 12-step program. Hi, my name is Susie, and I'm a fear porn addict. There's all these groups to help people, overcome their addictions. But there's no groups to help people overcome fear porn. And the mainstream media, the alternative media that repeats the mainstream media, and even people like me, I just repeat all that crap. We repeat it, we reinforce it. People are writing about this. This is an article from April 7th, 2020. Dr. Donna Marks, the author of Exit the Maze, One Addiction, One Cause, One Cure, claims addiction to fear is causing more suffering than the treatment industry defines addiction as repeating the same behavior over and over despite negative consequences. There are 35 million deaths per year worldwide from heart disease, lung cancer, and type 2 diabetes resulting from the abuse of alcohol, drugs, cigarettes, sugar, and trans fat. Ironically, these are the people at highest risk of dying from, Dr. Mark says. With increased isolation and crisis-filled news cycles, the majority of Americans are living in a self-imposed fear frenzy, but remain oblivious to the long-term consequences. Boredom has set in, and the need to fill this void is intensifying. Fear creates chemical releases in the body that mask the void. It's at the root of most addictions. How about that? Fear is a natural built-in emotion that warns us to respond to impending danger. It is much different than the self-imposed imaginary fears of the unknown. Some people get so excited by the sensations of being afraid that they become addicted to it. The internal uneasiness creates the need for sedation. Staying glued to bad news, hurrying to the grocery store, and obsessing about contracting an illness are several ways people exacerbate their addiction to fear. The higher the anxiety, the greater the need to self-medicate with alcohol, drugs, smoking, bad food, online gambling, and porn, Dr. Marks says. Fear-based decisions are rarely good decisions. TV news programs have been reporting a significant increase in food and alcohol purchases, yet also pointing out that most of the people dying are diabetic, obese, or have other significant health issues. If you've ever dealt with somebody who has a drug or alcohol or even gambling and porn addiction, the best thing for them is just to leave them alone, let them see the light of day. I know these people are overstepping their boundaries and interfering with our lives, but they will eventually self-implode, and you just have to stay away from them until they kill themselves. That's just the only option, I guess. I can't think of anything else because you can't help an addict. All right, white people, that's the damage for now. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to your thoughts below.